Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Robinson and welcome to my review of The Dark Knight, Warner Brothers' new motion picture, which was a box office slam this weekend, taking in $155 million, beating the record previously held by Spider-Man 3. That's impressive. I don't know, some of you guys may like Hellboy, that may thought that was the best superhero movie, some of you guys may thought it was Superman Returns, or Spider-Man 2, or Spider-Man 3, or who knows what you thought the best superhero movie was before The Dark Knight came out. Because The Dark Knight is the best superhero movie ever made. And if you're going to try to argue with me on that issue, I will make another YouTube video just to slam you. And with this movie, the acting is just amazing. It's really a true ensemble piece, if you ask me. Just my humble opinion. Ullman and Eckhart, I know they got Ledger that they're competing with, who I'm going to get to in a second. But those two, one of those two also deserves an Oscar nomination because they were really good. Of course, now we get to Heath Ledger, which is just like a creepily and haunting final role for him. It was amazing. He was just brilliant. He was the Joker. I forgot it was Heath Ledger. He is the Joker. So let me get to the point. Dark Knight deserves a Best Picture nomination. Yes, it does. It doesn't need to win. It does not need to win. I'm not saying it needs to win. Christopher Nolan deserves a directing nomination because he was just amazing. So does he and his brother for writing. This movie was tremendous. Cinematography, music, costume design, makeup maybe even. I don't know. That's hard. That's a stretch. Makeup's a stretch. Even though Ledger was really good. For this not to get a Best Picture nomination would be a crime. Let's face it, Academy. Last year was the least watched Oscars in the history of the Oscars. And it was the 80th Oscars after the writer's strike. People should have been flocking to go see this. I know I watched it, and yes, it was still the most watched event of that week, even beating out the almost invincible American Idol. Still, you guys should have been. You shouldn't have been the least watched Oscars of all time. You know why you're the least watched Oscars of all time? Because you guys are boring. I'm sorry, you're boring. Oh, you guys don't choose any movies that people want to see. Yes, you had Juno. And you didn't give Juno really anything except for writing, which it deserved, but you don't really give it to anything. Look, Transformers, you didn't give that anything. Yeah, Born Ultimatum won a lot of awards, but you guys didn't even really highlight or talk about the Born Ultimatum. What was that? Born Ultimatum won the second most amount of Academy Awards, and you guys didn't even talk about it. There Will Be Blood. You gave Daniel Day-Lewis his Oscar. I think he overacted, personally. I think he should go to Johnny Depp. I'm getting a little off topic here. Let me get to the point. Richard Roeper, one of the guys of Ebert and Roeper at the movies, when he was with Michael Phillips, said about how this movie is on the level like The Departed and Heat. Listen, personally, and this is just my opinion, I think that Batman is better than The Departed. Don't throw rocks at me. I'm serious. Think about it. The Departed, every other word, or like screaming the F word or something like that, or I'm gonna F your mother, or F that, F your dog. That's not. Sorry, I love Martin Scorsese. I think that was probably the worst picture Martin Scorsese he's ever made, and he won it for that just because out of sympathy. They were like, look, we're finally gonna give it to you, okay? We screwed Peter O'Toole, so let's give it to at least somebody. Let's give it to Martin Scorsese for The Departed, which was not that good of a movie. It was not very clever. Batman, how many cuss words do they have in that movie? How many sex scenes or whatever like that? They don't really have that much, and yet they're a better film because of that. Because they were able to make it so dark and so rich and so colorful without all this. I'm going to shoot it all. Seriously. Oscars, if you want to get the people to believe in the Academy again, this is your chance. A credible Best Picture contender. And if you overlook this, I'm going to riot. That's right, I'm going to riot. And maybe only me riding in the streets. I may only be able to topple over bicycles and scooters, but I will riot. That's right. So basically, what I'm saying is, if you haven't seen The Dark Knight, you need to see it. I saw it twice in one day. It's really one of the better movies ever made. And it's so deep, and it's moral and ethical and social issues that it brings out. The action scenes are, of course, amazing. So this really is the Best Picture contender to me. I don't know how much credibility I hold, but hopefully this will get through to somebody.